Hi friends, it's Gloria from Golden Bucket Farm. I'm the Jersey Lady 1 here on YouTube. And this is part 2 of my Journaling by Fives journal, which is the brainchild of Shannon Green. And I will put a link to her, to her video that tells about Journaling by Fives. And you can just go into search on YouTube and find, and on Facebook and all over. Lots and lots and lots of people who have done Journaling by Fives. I realized that I didn't do this journal. Didn't do a video about it. And so, anyway, this is part 2. I was halfway through. And I know this is really long and chatty, but I gained so much through the Journaling by Fives process, as far as being, as, who was it? Jane, I think, from Tupelo Designs. I think her slogan used to, in her previous incarnation, used to be crafting without fear, and I guess that's kind of what this idea is to really get you to do that. So anyway, you can look at my last part 1 video of my Journaling by Fives, and then look at Shannon to find out really what's involved here. I made mine into a day book, and so that's what these extra pages over here are. This tells kind of what we ate and what the weather was like and who was here and what we did and all that. Okay, that's not part of Journaling by Fives. That's just how I use my book. Over here, okay, so on this page, my paint, let's see, I think there was paint and, what was it? Blue and purple, looks like. Paint and a little bit of watercolor and ink, Memento ink. My texture was this piece of reinforced brown packing tape that I punched some holes in. Again, you make your pile of stuff, and you just blob it down in each step, because you're doing 15 minutes for 20 pages for each of your 5 steps. So you can't be, fiddle-diddling around thinking, what am I going to do? You put it on and you move on. My stamping was these corner stamps. Just kind of stamp those around. And my focal point, I thought, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with this? Well, I had these 3 penguins. It's like see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. So I stuck those on and doodled around with the silver metallic Sharpie. And then later on, I cut out some, can you see there? Yeah, little snowflakes with my Scan and Cut, and doodled on those and put some bling on. But that's after the 20 pages 5 times 15 minutes each. That was finishing up and pulling your page together. So okay, here is, okay, my next page, and I'll show you. See, I went with, this is later on, when I do extra stuff. I used the end of my paintbrush and made these little dots as I was doodling. Of course, I ran my hand through it. And before I did Journaling by Fives, I just would have fixated on, oh, what am I going to do, blah, blah, blah. Nope. I've gotten really better about just, sure, I'm not going to make a big mess and do that, give it as a gift to somebody or something, but, you have to forgive yourself. You have to just not obsess so much. So on this page, it was watercolor. I think it looks like blue, green and purple. And let's see, the stamping, oh, the texture was some torn up paper plates, 4 pieces here. Okay. And the stamping was just kind of some scroll stamping there, scroll stamps. Okay. And my focal point was that I just, again, you just pick up, put down, pick up, put down. Had these teacups. Then I got thinking, my mom collected, she passed away this last year, and she collected teacups. So I thought, well, I'll make a little memory page for her for that. So I fussy cut some roses off of extra, like the little, the little funeral card tells about. Okay, or maybe it was off the extra thank you notes that we had. We wrote a lot, but we had a few left over. So anyway, I fussy cut those and put that on. I had an extra little Dollar Tree sticker that had roses on. So later on I added that. My doodling was just, you can see, just, I'm not the greatest doodler. Just around the edges and on that paper plates. And then I just added a little information from her funeral card on there to make it, in the end. But yeah. So you never, like I say, you never know really until the end how it's really going to turn out. This page was brown and pink, I think, and then I came back with just some orange highlighter, I think, because it just didn't seem like it had enough. After I went through the whole 20 pages putting color on the page, it just looked so blah, so I just scribbled, and again you think, what is going to come of that? But it really was okay. Let's see, so my texture was, I don't know if you can see these little dots that I punched out, and I had just, in my materials pile that I could use somewhere. And I think they were off of the dust cover of a book that my husband was getting rid of. Anyway, so I just glued those on. My focal point was this foot with polka dot nail polish. So then for stamping, I used my little letter stamps and stamped polka dot, polka dot. I think I only did it once, but then, later on in my free time, I came back and did more. And that's how that page stayed for a while. Oh, I guess the doodling was just making dots with in paint with the end of my pencil, I guess. Like the eraser part. Then that's how that page kind of stayed. Then later on, I found other polka dots and glued them on. So there's the high tops and the pumpkin and the dress. And so all in all, yeah, that's a pretty cool page. But who knew, at the time. That's what you learn. Don't stress out. Don't, just move forward. Okay, this is really a busy, messy page, but it was one too that was just, I thought, oh my goodness. By this time, because I'm getting down to the end, my watercolor water was getting kind of diluted with funny colors, and so what I really wanted to be kind of a dusty pink turned into kind of a crummy brown, and I guess I used some blue ink on there in the back, and my texture was some pieces of the pretzel bag that I'd used in the other part. I had cut out these kind of like cloud shapes, and they were red, and that just didn't, that was ugly. I almost was going to throw them away and kind of cheat and do something else. But as I picked them up to peel, I saw, oh, my goodness, it's pink on the inside. So I just turned the papers over and, okay, so that was that. Then I had left, this was a page I kind of left at the end too. And really all I had left for pictures was this. Kind of looks like me. Kind of a chubby grandma lady with glasses and her hair up in a bun. And so I plopped it on there with this little journaling card from Prima or somebody. Divine, I guess that was the Divine Collection. I just had a few extras of those. And then I had words. I had some words like beautiful, cool, glamorous, and I thought, good grief, she... that certainly does not describe this lady. But nonetheless, you just keep moving ahead. So I glued them down. I glued at least some of these words down. Well, later on then, I was thinking, how am I going to pull this page together? And there was a catalog, a clothing catalog, women's clothing catalog came, and it was called Woman Within. And it just like snapped to me, okay, I know what I'm going to do. So I made these little speech bubbles here, or speech cards. It says, here's the woman you see, okay? But here is the woman within. And so, we don't always appear to other people. They can't always see what's inside of us. And so this lady is, gifted and great and sensational and beautiful and all these other things, So she might look to the world one way, but the woman within is all these other great things, and the people who take time to get to know her will see her as the sensational woman she really is. So again, one of my most unlikely pages, just came together and really makes me happy. Here's a page that is not totally done. In fact, I had it done and then I tore it apart, and I will work on it another time. The background was just like a patchwork of orange and green watercolors. And my texture was these 3 strips that were torn from a real estate brochure. This guy wanted to sell his farm. So I just tore those up and put those on. Okay, so that was my texture. My stamping was my friend Shirley. Hey, Shirley, thank you. She's a Stampin' Up lady, and she had given me these farm stamps, and so I used this wheat stamp to kind of go, in between. And then my focal point were these stickers that I had. Remember I did that one with the barn and the chickens? Well, here was the tractor and our kind of Jersey cow. And let's see, a windmill there. And with the milk can and the milk pail and like that. Okay, and I just doodled around the edge, sort of drew around the cow to kind of make her stand out a little better. And what I had really in here was some letters that said, "How now, brown cow," but they were just so overpowering by the time I got it done that I took it off. And I found another little cross stitch thing that I'm gonna, it's like a picture of a cross stitch that says, "How now, brown cow." I'm gonna glue that on there. But so this page is still a work in progress. Okay, here, I think it was just inks, sort of red and green inks that I just made stripes with. And I had, oh gosh, was it this lady's fingernails, I think. And then I had, so that was my focal point. Oh, in the background, I don't know if you can see, for my stamping, I had a script stamp. And I figured I'd only use that, I think, once on another page. So I put that on. So my focal point was this fingernails. Oh gosh, was it? No, it wasn't, because it's been a while since I did this. It was this dripping fingernail polish. And my texture were these glittery borders that I thought was maybe too gaudy to use someplace else. But actually, now I just made a video and I used some of that and it worked out really well. So I shouldn't have judged that border so harshly, so quickly. Later on, I found Keep Calm and Paint Your Nails. And I found some nails and some toenails with some cute little flowers on them. So in the end, this whole thing came out. Later on, here I've come to the end of May, and I had more room in this, so I just stuck in some butterflies that I made. Oh gosh, who was that? Was it Secret Soto? I think from YouTube, who was making flowers, and then I'm not sure if it was Lori Seabrook or just who it was who then ended up making butterflies out of these kind of just randomly stamped on and blobbed on pages. So anyway, like jelly prints or something. So I had made a bunch of those, and so I just used those up on these pages. And here's some more of that. This, yeah, you know, just sort of like pink and blue blobby background. And my texture was this one layer of a lace flower that I had left over. And my stamping was some keys and live, love, laugh. My focal point was this heart with a key in it. I think I might have done that and then stamped the keys on later. Yeah. And doodling, I just kind of doodled around the flower and like that. And later on I added some bling. I don't know if you can see those jewels on there, but okay, so it's not my greatest page, but still in all. Right, and this, yeah, this is my last page. These are some of my butterflies. A little bit of washi tape in there. I found on Twitter, somebody sent me this cow with the map of the world photoshopped on her. And I laughed to my husband. I said, oh, look, it's a map cow. And so, anyway, when I did this page, and I had green and orange and brown watercolor, I think, in the background. And my texture is some more of that drywall mesh. So I did 3 strips of that. And my stamping was in between. And I used my eraser. I don't know what other kind of little stampy thing in there. But anyway, I typed out map cow. And then I got thinking, oh gosh, okay, lost, better get map cow. And that's kind of how it stayed until later. Then I found this in my Word pile. Download our app today. And so again, the most unlikely stuff really came together in the end. And let's see here, what have I got? I had some more. I covered up the last page and the inside back cover, and I just used some more of my butterflies. And here was a little journaling spot left over from my pet album that I made. So this is Journaling by Fives, inspired by Shannon Green. This book, even though it's like a year old, it still makes me smile every time I pick it up. And I really want to encourage you to try Journaling by Fives. Follow the link to Shannon Green and find out about it. I think it can make you less uptight, less obsessive, freer in your crafting, and just the satisfaction of, yeah, you got to have your materials ready, but in actual working time, in an hour and 15 minutes, you can finish a worthy size project like this, which is what you do if you do journaling by 5. So God bless, take care, happy crafting, and bye-bye for now.